Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Would you love to deepen your spiritual connection and create a conscious shift in your life? Do you seek answer to human experience? Well, welcome to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. It's a 2.5-hour safe haven for your questions and Spirit's answers. And you can transform your life right now on VCMG in South Florida. SarahSpiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium who can assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. For the next 2.5 hours, listen and call in toll-free 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247. And watch SarahSpiritual live on Facebook and YouTube and share love and light.
What will Speaking with Sarah all across the nation at 866-972-7247. We're answering your questions, and I'm so excited to talk to you all across the nation. And this is the perfect time to call in and tell me all about love. I had someone message me today, and she had a love question. And her question was, should I stay or should I go? She didn't know if she should stay in a relationship, something that's not doing well, or skip off to meet this other person in a whole other place. Is it worth it for her? She didn't know. But there's a lot more than just, I'm dissatisfied with where I am, and maybe I should go over here. Because chances are, if you don't know why you're leaving and why things are out of alignment in your relationship, you're probably going to pick someone who's not going to line up well for you, and it's going to cause problems. And it's going to get complicated. And there's a saying that Spirit tells me that no one should ever leave one relationship just because they want to go to another. You need to close the relationship you're in. Make it official. Be done before you're going to jump ship to the next relationship. So where are you in your relationships? Where are you in your love matters? It has to be my number one question about love. What does love have to do with it? A lot. Because as humans, one thing we want more than anything is to be loved. And there's so many different ways we experience love. There's that person you fell in love with that maybe didn't love you back. And that hurts. Maybe there's that person that you love forever and you can't get them out of your mind, but you're not with them. But somewhere in the back of your mind, you just always love them. A piece of you belongs to them. And it's difficult for us to let go of that memory, that feeling, that connection. And it stays with you because there's something that draws us with other people. And when you find that spark with someone else, it makes a tremendous difference. It takes it to a level that is uncomparable. So of course, if you have this spark with someone, and then you go out on a date with someone else, and they don't match the spark, well, it gets hard. It's difficult because you're trying to compare a feeling that is uncomparable. Because there's a unique spark between you and a particular soul. And souls are meant to be together. Specific souls come together for a reason, to fulfill a life story or just a chapter in the life story. And we never know. And what about that first love? That love that we know from our high school years? That's your first impression of falling in love. That's your first impression on being connected and understanding what the feeling of being in love is. Love is a powerful tool, and it transforms you. And high school love, college love, has its own unique lane because there's a newness to it. There's an innocence to it. There's a sense of, fulfilling some dream or fairy tale. And then life starts to come in and we realize that maybe it's not a good match and we can't run off. And we're not looking to be Romeo and Juliet. So we move on from that relationship. But your early relationships, your early moments of falling in love become your teachers. Did you have a partner when you were in love in high school that was attentive and brought you flowers, or did things to make you feel important and special? Or did you have someone who was maybe not as responsive to you? You felt like you had to chase them? That you didn't have the connection with them that you wanted? What was your experience? And then how did you view your parents' relationship? Oh, I know. We just opened up a can of worms, right? Because what were your parents like? Because they're ultimately your first teachers of relationships and what being in love is like. Did your parents hold their hands when they went walking? Did they have breakfast together in the morning? Did they kiss each other goodnight? What was their relationship? Did they fight, disagree? Did they keep things behind closed doors? Because that begins your journey of your relationship. How you're going to create a future relationship is based on what you see. That becomes your training ground. And then what you choose to experience moving forward. And sometimes we pick a partner that is not going to be attentive because we didn't get the attention that we wanted at home, and therefore we feel that we're not worth attention. We don't deserve attention. And there are other times when we find ourselves in this energy of connecting and wanting love and finding people that are almost not allowing us to be ourselves, and they block our energy of love because they're trying to tell us who they want us to be. There are a lot of people in relationships that are trying to ask someone to be someone they're not. I was on the phone with one of my clients today, and we were talking about her relationship. And it's an interesting relationship because not only do they have a relationship, but they also work together. They perform together. There's so much that goes on in their journey. And so there's a lot of pressure. And one is more driven and more forward moving than the other. And so it creates conflict. And then at times they feel like they're not supported. And so the one or the other doesn't feel like they're being supported. And so it creates difficulties in the relationship. So we have to find a way to communicate to our partner, to find a way to establish what works for each other. But that takes conversation. And without a conversation, where each gets to speak, the relationship begins to spiral in the other way. And eventually it doesn't work. Now, lucky for us, this particular client, they've done their work. I've been coaching my client. So she has the skill set to find her voice, express herself, and also hear her partner and how they're feeling. And they do realize that they are two totally different people in how they handle certain aspects of their relationship, but particularly how they choose to work. And because they work together, they have to find a balance. They can't have any disharmony from the home carrying into work. And they most certainly don't want disharmony at work, the pressure of work, coming back to their home, because that will rob them of their time to relax and enjoy each other. So an unusual dynamic, but it does happen with different couples. So where are you in your relationship meter? Are you looking for love? Have you been, as the song says, looking for love in all the wrong places? Are you looking for love, but you haven't met your person yet? Where are you in the journey? And do you know what you want in the energy of love? Do you truly know what love means for you? And the last person you were with, do you really understand why that relationship ended? These are things we have to ask ourselves. Because for those of you who come to me and you say, where is my partner? When will I find love? I'm waiting. Sometimes I have people say, when will I ever get married? It's like, well, we got to find the right person. We don't want to just marry anyone. Then I have people who say, I'm in a relationship and I don't know how to get out of it because I have children and I don't want to leave my family. And so then we have to navigate that experience of stepping out of that relationship and not causing hurt, not causing difficulties between the structure of the children and the relation to the parent. So it becomes complicated, but not impossible. If some people think that they're just doomed to stay in the same relationship, can't get out of it, there's no place to go, no other way. One thing Spirit has taught me is that there's always a way, especially when you're coming from a place of love. And love is about knowing when love has morphed and changed, and it's not the love that's going to bond the two of you together because one of you grew and the other one didn't grow. We need to grow. And both partners have to be willing to grow and learn new things about each other, new things about life. Set new goals. If the goal was to get a house and you got the house, then what's the next joint goal? Is it to make the house more of a sanctuary? Is it to lessen financial obligations, to spend more quality time together? What is the next goal for the couple? Do you have a goal in your relationship? Do you know what's important to you? Do you feel that love can conquer anything? It can, but you have to do the work. Love of itself is the strongest power in an entire universe, but love in a relationship involving two people has to flow equally between the parties so that the frequency can bounce off of each other and begin to magnify all that is good and dissipate, remove all that is less than perfect, so that love can conquer all without destroying the emotions associated with the imperfect moments. Because we're all human. We all have our moments. We're all less than perfect. I like to say that I'm perfectly imperfect. Covers the base, right? Because we're all created in this human form that has imperfections. We all have soul contracts with the people who have trained us, conditioned us, taught us about life. And if they haven't worked through their issues, which it is evident that they have not, look at humanity, then we have to be the stronger next generation and work on ourselves and do the work. So we begin to pass down through the lineage better relationship skills, better love skills, better connections with people, and understanding our power. Who are you? Do you love yourself? Do you know what you represent in your life? And do you know what the breath of life for you brings to this world? Do you know what makes you joyful, happy? Do you know what makes your partner joyful and happy? And if you don't have a partner, if you don't know what makes you joyful and happy, then how can we attract someone who's going to be an equal vibrational, joyful partner? You're going to attract someone who's confused and maybe miserable because you don't know what makes you happy. Love is a reflection of what's going on inside of us in a partner. So you may say, yes, but I'm totally different than my partner, and my partner is this type of personality and I'm another type. Yes, opposites will attract. But the things that you dislike about your partner, you may actually have to work on within yourself. Because why else would you have attracted them? Maybe you need to learn to take things more seriously. Maybe you need to be in a different state of flow. Maybe you need to be more considerate. We have to look at what each partner brings to the table. Number one question, is love coming? And so my question back to you when you ask that question is, are you open and ready to receive love? Do you want love? Are you ready for love? Does love fill your heart? Do you feel this sense of passion and compassion for others? Are you passionate about what you do in life? Do you feel that you are blessed? Are you in gratitude? And being in gratitude, do you have the opportunity in life to move yourself forward because you choose to? Or is life just pushing you through because that's just what's happening and you're just trying to just keep afloat? Can you be alone? Do you love your own company? It's important to know that you have your own personal support. You have to be your best cheerleader. You have to be your greatest love. You have to have an admiration for yourself, appreciation for yourself. You need to value who you are and what you bring to the table. Otherwise, how could we ever attract a partner who values us? And how do I know this is to be true? Because I sit across from so many of you with your questions, and when I look in the energy of the other partner, they don't value you. They take you for granted. They don't appreciate what you bring to the table. But you, on the other hand, put up with it. You tolerate it because why? You're afraid to be alone? You don't know if you can stand on your own? Or you don't want to make waves? It's not a relationship. That's a situationship. And if you're not speaking your piece, then you miss the boat. You're not putting in the work, or it's just not that important to you. How much value do you place on you and your relationship? And when you look at dating, another thing I hear is that dating is just not so good. Well, you have to be specific as to what you want. And if you're a nice person and you want a permanent relationship, you want a partner, you want someone to spend time with, and that's something that you value, then you're going to attract someone who is going to value that. And you will find your person. Could you have to kiss a frog along the way? Yes. But you're going to get there. Because the universe has a soul for you, and not just one soul. Sometimes I have people call and say, I think I missed my person. Well, if there was someone that we could have been, but something didn't work out, it was all part of a divine plan, and there will be someone else. You need to just ask the universe, and the universe will find you the partner that is right for you where you are in the moment, because your frequency is not the same. You're not the same person you were 7 years ago. And for sure, none of us are the same people that we were in 2020. We've all been through so much. And I find that 2020 has changed how people view themselves and relationships. It has changed their ability to let people in. People have become more closed off. How are you going to attract someone if you're closed off? It's not possible. You have to be open. And you have to be important to yourself and also know who you are and leave a memorable impression on someone. Because each one of us has a presence, a divine presence. And that divine presence, that presence of love that is within you, should be everlasting in the energy of all that you meet. so that then the right person who's ready to match your divine love energy will be able to step forward. You have to leave your lasting impression. And I don't mean you wore the perfect shoes, or your hair was just right, or you had the best business suit or the best sports car. Not about that. Do those things help, since we are physical beings and we are usually mostly visual? Initially, when it comes to relationships, it helps. But you need to leave the impression of who you are. What is your legacy? Who are you? What is the energy that creates the impression of who you are amongst everyone? What is the consistency there? If we were to interview all your friends and ask them what are the best qualities of you, and we gathered all that, are you exuding that when you go out to find a partner, or are you on the hunt to find someone because you want your partner now? Are you as good a person and friend to people other than just your friends? What are you doing to put in the energy to create the love that you want? Because I know that love is all around. And love can always find its equal match. Love will always find love. And you are worthy of love. So write down, I am the woman who, I am the man who is worthy of love, and love flows to me with ease and grace. Therefore, my partner, my divine love, is in the energy now, and it is in the movement of the becoming reality. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, I am welcoming your phone calls right here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah on the Oldies Station. We're going to be on till 9 p.m., so we welcome your calls about any topic. But if you've got a love question, I definitely want to hear that. You've got a crazy love story, we want to explore that. If you made a left when you should have made a right, we want to put you on track, because love is the answer. So stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
Where will we go? What will change the course of life? I don't know. Where is love?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WFLM 104.7 HD3 Palm Beach Shores, and heard in Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. We are South Florida's home for the True Oldies Channel.
SarahSpiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561 682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome back to the next 2 hours of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussions to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect to the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all experience and knowledge. We have another 2 hours to listen and call in 866-9-SARAHs. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can share the love and light.
Where will we
And we are back here live on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation at 866 972 7247. And I'm so glad to be able to talk to you. And you're listening to us on the Oldies station 95.3, 95.9, 96.9, 106.9, 104.7 HD3, 103.1 HD3. And we're also heard live in Miami on 104.3. So we're so glad to be connecting with all of you and sharing your stories and answering your questions because you have the power of love inside of you. And the number one question that I get answers from Spirit about is love. What's your love story? What's the story of what you desire in a partner? How do we create the balance of love? It is an important part of our lives to have a partner, a lover. These things are important. We're meant to be partnered up. Most souls are meant to be with a partner. There are some that they like to be to the beat of their own drum and be free, and they never really have a set partner in life because that's their path. That's what they choose. But every soul's got a story, and I want to talk to you about a love story. 866 972 7247. And I want you to write this day down. June 11th. Write it down. What's going on, Sarah Spiritual? We have a fabulous celebration because in June 11th, we're celebrating at my Expedito Enlightenment Center our 16-year anniversary. And that 16-year anniversary is representing all of you. So I would love if you come out to the Expedito Enlightenment Center on June 11th. We'll have more details in the next week to come and the weeks following as we get you ready for June 11th. It is your day. It is a day to celebrate your participation and your journey. Even if you're one of our new listeners, we'd love to see you at the center. We're going to have a live radio show. And if you haven't met me yet, I'd love to meet you. And we're going to be answering questions for you live in the audience. So if you have a question about life, love, friendship, connections with work, or even a connection from a loved one on the other side, we're going to be giving you those messages June 11th live at the Expedito Enlightenment Center. So we're going to go to our phone lines at 866 972 7247. And we're going to go to Palm Beach. And I've got Dorothy on the line. Dorothy, how are you tonight? I hear you, Dorothy, yes. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. What is your burning question for us, Miss Dorothy? Yes. Yes. And you're so correct. You're so correct. Because love is a feeling, it's a frequency. And when you were speaking, I was reminded of this phrase from a song. I promise there will always be a little spot inside of me, a tiny spot deep in my heart that stays in love with you. See, love never dies. It is. It is. And when you first started talking about the man in the hallway, well, let's get real here, right? So imagine we see someone, and it reminds me of, it's from a show tune, but maybe you know this one. Some enchanted evening, you will meet a stranger, right? You will meet a stranger across a crowded room. So we feel that energy, right? And that's what they call kismet. And that connection between people. And that is the Holy Spirit. That is the energy of God in motion, connecting souls. And that is the love.
But I denied it. I denied it for 2 years. So I pushed, and pushed. I denied. I made up stories in my head. I made believe he was gay. I made believe I was not lovable.
Poor guy.
But no, he's a busy man. He was running a $400 billion corporation cross-continent. But he just looked at me in that second, and we're both home. And he never let go. Mm-hmm. He never let go. But what you're saying right now is important because I had a pattern of human behavior that had me deny pleasure for myself. It had me deny the joy. It had me deny what's my worth, right?
Correct. But Dorothy, remember this. Everything has its time, right? There's a reason, there's a season, there's a time. And so it's not to look back and think what I didn't do or what I haven't accomplished. It's to look and say how far I've come. And you weren't at the frequency that you would have been able to sustain and maintain that. And ideally, had you met then and everything took off, then wow, it would have been perfect and you would have had 2 more years. But you and I both know if we are in a fragmented, discombobulated emotional state on some level, or in his case, maybe preoccupied with work and too much pressure, then we're going to sabotage and you might not have had the beautiful time that you did have when he was here with you. But we use
your tools. We use the spiritual tools that you offer to sustain our capacity, right?
Right.
Singing bowls, sound bowls, meditation, getting psychic help, staying on the path. So thank you. You've helped me tremendously because those are the tools of my transformation. Is your gift, is the tools of my transformation.
Well, beautiful. So remember this line.
Thank you.
Once you have found them, never let them go. Right? So don't let them go. Always with you.
You just answered what was deep in my soul. Thank you so much for that. You're highly intuitive. That was my little secret when I called in. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow,
my pleasure.
You're something else.
I appreciate that, Dorothy. Thank you. And thank you for visiting the Expedito Enlightenment Center. And I'd love to see you on June 11th at the center live at the show and have you there in the audience. That would be fabulous.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bye for now. Bye. 866-972-7247. Let your love flow like an ocean breeze. Let's go to Angie. Angie baby in Naples. Let's see what's going on in Naples. I hope we got a love story in Naples. Let's see. Angie, you got a love story?
Not yet, Sarah, but that's one of my favorite songs.
Is it really? I love that song.
Yeah, I love that song.
Well, what's your question for us?
Not so much about love, but last time we talked, I asked if my daughter was going to get a horse anytime soon, and
Yes.
you described a horse to me, and Spirit's very funny because literally 3 horses came out of left field that need a rider and need attention, and they're all similar in how they
Good.
look, but they're in, different environments, and now we're really confused and don't know which one of the 3 horses to pick.
Oh,
I mean,
let's
I
pick
think
a
we
horse.
know, but yeah.
Yes. All right. What are the locations for the horses? Let me tune in. Let me tap in. Let's see what we got going on. What locations are they right now? Where are each of the horses currently?
One of them is at like a very, very busy barn. One of them is at somebody's home, and then the other one's at a smaller barn.
Are they all in Florida?
Yeah, they're all in Naples. Yep,
Okay. Do they currently have names?
they do.
Okay. Do you know the names?
Yep, one of them is Jay. The other one's CJ, and then the third one, he actually has an official name. His name is Chucky, but they call him Rockhouse Chucky.
And what's the connection with the horse in the smaller barn?
It would be. I think we would be able to spend more time with him, and the price is obviously a lot better.
Okay. But you're torn between J and CJ, is that correct? More so than Chucky?
No, we're torn between Jay and Chucky.
J and Chucky.
Yeah.
I like the J energy here. Do you know the horse's birthday?
I don't,
Good thing to know
but
because
I'm sure I'll find that out.
find those things out because they have personalities and they have their own astrology. Animals have their own little astrology, and for instance, if I use my cat Cleopatra, if a cat is born in a Pisces energy, right? So they're going to be a certain way as a human would be, right? As opposed to, let's say, my dog Sparta, who passed not too long ago, was born in September. He had his little Virgo energy, right? So we have these different personalities that come up. So it's good to know. Good to know. How far is the barn where Chucky is?
It's pretty close to my house.
There's something about the way you ride Chucky that may not be conducive for your daughter to feel comfortable on Chucky and work with Chucky and grow with Chucky. I don't know if it's that Chucky is a little more set in Chucky's ways, has a little more stubborn streak to Chucky. So that's what I also want you to note. How workable is the horse? Because remember, it's designed to help your daughter grow. She wants to ride and perhaps compete, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So the personalities have to jive here. And we love a strong horse, but we don't want a stubborn horse. I work with a lot of equestrians, and when the horse is stubborn, it takes a lot of time. It becomes a little battle of the wits. We want to make sure that this is a horse that's going to be sensitive to your daughter and her, strong enough in who they are to execute when they need to, but also be sensitive to the fact that she is on them and guiding them and aware and kind of pick up on her feelings and work with her instead of against her.
Yeah,
So I'm leaning more
I
towards
agree with that.
the first two than the last.
Okay.
All right. So now that we threw a whole nother set of energy from spirit, don't make yourself confused. You just pick not based on location, based on connection, based on love frequency, right? We heard Dorothy talk about she just knew. Your daughter has to just stand there and just feel like this is my horse. Just because she can put her hand on their forehead and just feel like this feels like, we'll use Dorothy's word, our caller before, home. We want to feel like home.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, when she first met Chucky, we went a few times to see him, and she literally kissed him, like hugged him. Like she's ridden a lot of horses before, but she was like, "I love him. He's my soul." And I'm like, "What? I've never heard her say that before."
Well, see, then there's something
but
to
she
be
rode
said
him
for that.
today. Yeah, she rode him today, but yes, he is a little stubborn, and so I don't know. That's why I'm like, well.
Yeah. But with a good trainer.
And then I go, yep.
She needs a good
And
trainer.
so
The
I
horse
said-
needs a good trainer. Yes.
Definitely. So today I said, well, I mean, what do you think? Do you think it's Jay or do you think it's Chucky? And she goes, I feel like me and Jay rode better together. She goes, but I don't know. I really love the way Chucky acts with me. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so confusing.
Yeah. So give her a
But
little
my
time.
sister's like, my sister goes, just lease them both. I'm like, oh, okay.
You can't quite do that.
It was
That's a
that
lot.
easy.
Yeah. Yes. You'll
Yeah.
find the horse, and she'll know before next Wednesday. So you be sure to let us know, my darling. All
Okay.
right. All right, Angie. Thank you so much
Okay.
for following the
I
show,
felt
and
that.
I hope to see you June 11th. Come on up. We'd love to see you at the Expeditive
Yes,
Center.
definitely.
All right. Thank you so
I have
much.
it on my calendar.
Perfect,
Thank you,
Angie.
Sarah.
Great. You're welcome. Bye for now. Bye. 866-972-7247. Jiminy Crickets, I just looked at the time. I've got to take a break and hear from my sponsors. But when we come back, you're going to continue listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah right here on the Oldie Station every Wednesday night. So don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back.
Do you know me? Do I know you? Have we met before? I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
You are listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual, at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Everything comes when the stars align, right here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, all across the nation. And we are welcoming your phone calls at 866-972-7247. We're really looking forward to connecting with you tonight. And we're going to go back to our phone lines. And in our 8 o'clock hour, it's that time again. If you've been following the show, you know that first Wednesday of the month, we have Stacy Holler, astrologer of Destiny and the Stars, and she's going to be telling us, what does the star say for you? What's your planet saying? What are we looking to find in our astrology this month? Is it going to be an interesting one? Are there going to be twists and turns? Is it going to be an easy month, astrologically speaking? Or are we headed for some major changes and some deep reflections? Well, I'm sure Stacy is going to be sharing that with us in the 8 o'clock hour, so please stay on for our Destiny and the Star update, our astrological rock around the clock. We're going to see what's going on with your horoscope at the 8 o'clock hour. But for this minute, I've got to pop back on my phone lines and also put your questions in Facebook and YouTube. If you're following us on Facebook, be sure to like the page, follow the page, and be sure to follow our page on YouTube on Sarah Spiritual. Put your questions and comments in the box, and we will be getting back to you. We're going to go back to the phone lines, and I've got Debbie in Boca. Debbie, how are you? Are you with us, Debbie? All right. Well, I think we might have lost Debbie somewhere along the line. So we're going to go to Brittany in Boynton. Brittany, how are you?
I'm doing good, and yourself?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I had better days. I'm just going to be transparent, but I had better days. Thank you
Well,
for
we've
taking
all
my
had
call.
those days. Absolutely, yes. And so, Brittany, what is your question for us?
So I did listen to your early message, and I know tonight's topic is on love. So recently, I've gone through a divorce. I've been divorced since October 12th, 2022, and I would like some insight on my new relationship. I guess I have a lot of fears of disappointment.
Of course, of course. What is the person's birthday? Do you have a birthday for them?
Yes, ma'am. It is 3/2/1982.
So when I go back in their journey, 2019, were they in another relationship that was getting ready to come to a close, or some difficulties at that time that you know of?
To be transparent, I don't know, but I do know he had some previous relationships.
Okay. Well, I believe that 2019 into 2020 was a transformative time for him. Probably was in a difficult relationship or breaking up with someone. But these are things you should know, right? I know people don't like to
Understood.
talk about past loves, but it's good to talk about them, not to disparage them. It's just to share, like, well, what was one of your favorite experiences in another relationship? What was one of your greatest ones? What was one of your most challenging one? What relationship were you in that made you grow the most? What relationship started out a certain way and then you felt like you didn't even know who you were dating anymore? You ask those questions so that they can tell you the story. And then that's how you avoid some of these disappointments, because you get to know them, because you hear how they tell the story. And we all know there's their version, the other person's version, and then there's the truth. But you hear how they posture their experiences and share them with you, and you get a sense of how they participated in that story, right? So you'll know if they're leaving something out. And because I've heard a lot of people say, and I'm going to tell you a story for a minute. I have many people who've come and told me, oh my God, I've read these gentlemen, and at different times men have come to me and sat in the room, and they're like, oh yeah, Sarah, that relationship was crazy, and this happened and that happened, and then you know what she did? She took my clothes and she took my stuff, she threw it out of the second floor window, and then she smashed this and she smashed that. And all right, I understand people can have their moments of getting crazy, and maybe there are a few girls who can naturally go crazy. But I generally, based on the energy in the story, can have the pleasure of looking at them and saying, and then what did you do to cause that? Because we don't go cuckoo for nothing.
Correct.
Okay? So you see how they tell the story? And I'm sitting here going, do you know who you're sitting? Do you not know the appointment that you came in to sit for, gentlemen? Right? I mean, does he not realize that I can read the whole story? So
Thank you.
the people
Yes.
tell their version of the story, and they think that we're not going to catch some of the nuances that are their part of it. And remember, it takes two to tango. Nobody's perfect. We're all growing in relationships. We all have experiences in relationships. So
Yes.
sometimes we're not the best party in the relationship. And so there are reasons why relationships take a turn. But you cannot judge
Correct.
the future by your past. You use the past as your stepping stone, and you learn from your past. And you also need to know that if you are holding on to fear of abandonment and disappointment and looking to find the loopholes and dishonesty, then that's exactly what you're going to get. Because by focusing your intention on that and attention, and everything is like, oh, I don't want to get disappointed, you are going to pull from that person their worst side of their personality. And or you attracted Captain Gaslight and you don't even know it yet. Now, I do see someone who is, at times, when I look at his birthday, this partner for you, they can be fun. they can be a little challenging because I don't feel like they're as communicative as you need them to be. Naturally, they just don't communicate the same way. Their transparency is not as evident as yours at this moment. Is that true?
Very true.
Okay.
Very true.
And so that's a red flag for you, right? But I will tell you and everyone listening, especially if we're talking about love, we can find a red flag just about everywhere. So ask more questions without drilling them. See what they share. Some people are naturally private. But I also feel that this is an individual, and this is the important part. This is what's inherent in their soul. In this juncture of their life, they are not ready to settle down. So I don't see a person who is ready for commitment in this time. That means committing to being in a monogamous relationship for a long period of time. It doesn't mean that they're going to see other people while they're seeing you, but they're not in this right now to say, oh, I'm looking for my person. They don't know that they're ready for a person yet. Does this make sense to you?
Yes, ma'am, it do.
And that's
Very
why
much.
you're feeling
But
the
at
wobble.
the same time, I was hoping that wasn't the case, to be very honest, but
But you're feeling the wobble, okay? You're feeling the in
Very
and the
much.
out, right? And it's triggering your wounded side or your broken little girl inside that's afraid, that feels abandoned, that feels disconnected from her truth and her inner strength. And so now you don't trust you. So I see a lovely guy. He's a nice guy. He's fun. He has charisma. He's got a lot of great things going for him. So I'm not saying toss him in the trash can. I'm saying do not get ahead of yourself. Live in the moment of now. And in the moment of now, align yourself with the energy of love and connection and what's important to you. All right?
And if you don't mind me asking, what do you mean by align myself with what's important to me?
Great question. What's important to you? What's important to you is someone who's ready for a commitment, who's ready to be in a monogamous relationship, someone who you can lay your head down on the pillow and not wonder, what they've got up their sleeve, right? Someone who is transparent, someone who's good-hearted, kind, compassionate. I want you to focus on what qualities you want from a partner. And I often tell people, and a lot of people who follow the show know this little trick of Sarah Spirituals, you write down 100 qualities you'd like your partner to possess. Kind, compassionate, honest, loyal. By the way, honest and loyal are not all the same thing, so we want to include both of them. Honest, loyal, enjoys the holidays, helps you put up the Christmas tree. Whatever's important to you.
Okay.
And you fold it in a piece of paper. You don't put it on your phone. You fold it on the piece of paper after you've written it, and you stick it in your wallet. And every day you go out and you say, I don't know where, I don't know when, but today's the day true love comes my way. I don't know where, I don't know when, but today's the day true love comes my way. And that is how you begin to attract the energy. Now, this said gentleman born on March 2nd, should this gentleman not be your person, when you write this list, this is what I love about energy, you will find that he will either begin to shift into more of what you're looking for, or he'll just start to show you qualities and maybe even bounce. Okay? Because it's the law of attraction.
Yes.
It's a magnetic energy. But fun guy to date now, we'll call him Mr. Now or Mr. Right Now, but not Mr. Forever. And you want to up-level your level, and you need to parade around your house, and you need to say, I am the woman who is worthy of love and the love that I desire, and I'm a magnet for that expression of love. I'm a magnet for that expression of love. And you walk around your house like a crazy person saying it, and guess what? The universe is going to match you with your energy and bring you a frequency. And then the craziest thing could happen. The guy who's non-committal at this moment, 3 months now could turn around and say, I just can't get you out of my mind, right? Because they up-leveled their frequency because they got themselves together. But I don't see a guy who's quite together. I see a guy who has to network and build and grow, something having to do with work. He's got to get some things done for his finances. That's what I see at this time. Does that make sense to you?
Very much. Very much.
So that's where his attention is right now.
Yeah.
He's got to get some things taken care of because he's not where he wants to be in his career. And that's important to him because this guy likes money. He wants to feel successful. He wants nice things. And he's not where he wants to be.
Correct.
Right? And he values himself and he judges himself as, I'm a man because I've accomplished these things. Right? And you're looking for a man who, yes, of course, is accomplished. Great. But you're looking for a man who's accomplished things. Yes, that's great. But you're also looking for a man who's ready to emotionally show up. And he's having trouble juggling the two. That's why I said, it's not that he's not a nice guy. It's just that his mind is not ready to say, oh, I want to invest my time and energy in a relationship and hold on to my person forever. He's trying to hold on to a job and grow is what he's trying to do.
So I should focus on continuing healing myself and what I like to do to become a better version of me.
Better version of you, correct. Loving yourself, enjoying his company, but also telling the universe you're open to options. And see what it brings on, honey. You never know. All right. We're so glad we were able to connect with you, Brittany and Boynton. Thank you so much for calling. Keep us focused. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye for now. 866-972-7247. We're going to check in on our friends on Facebook and YouTube and see what's going on. Who do we have on our Facebook page? Who do we have on our YouTube page? What are our questions and what's coming up next? Let's take a look at that and let's see who we have. I'm looking forward to talking to my friends on Facebook. And if you're watching us on Facebook, please be sure to put your questions in the comments and also on YouTube. All right, our YouTube person, Carolina Garcia says, what Spirit says about my love life? Will my soulmate come this year? Well, Carolina Garcia, yes. Someday your prince will come. And we're so glad that your prince is coming, and that someday is coming sooner than later. Because when I look at your birthday and I look at where you are on the journey of your life, this year represents a closing out of a chapter of what seems to have been, especially in romance, a very dry period. And I actually want to take you back at least 9 years. So, that hasn't been a very good love life, has it, Carolina Garcia? So, now that we know that, let's move you forward. The end of this year, around the time of your birthday, opens up the energy that love can find its way. And we are off to new beginnings, a new experience of life when we put our foot upon the path of 2026. And then from there, not only is it about relationship building and growing with a partner, but it's also about establishing yourself, establishing a business, and moving yourself in the direction of putting together all these dreams and ideas that you've had for so long are finally going to take root and begin to move and grow in an expeditious way. So will love come? Yes. Your soulmate? Well, we all have a lot of soulmates. You want a life mate, and that life mate is coming. We've got to get you up and out, Carolina Garcia. Don't be sitting in the house. It's time for you to step out and be your true, beautiful self. Thank you so much for your YouTube question. We're going to ask for another question from our friends on Facebook and YouTube before we go to our commercial break. So we've got Janet's Planet. Janet's Planet says, hi, everyone. Will I be able to move out on my own this year or next? So Janet's planet, it has been a bit of a challenging time. And when I look at where you are and I flip us back to 2022, my guides make me feel like that was a difficult year for you. And I feel like you've had to manage a lot and also had a lot of responsibilities. And so you felt a bit like a prisoner in your own experience. And you have not had the ability to express your true freedoms. And it is coming. I don't know that it's going to happen this year, though, because Spirit makes me feel that 2026, which is really not that far away, it's 7 months and poof, we'll be in 2026. That's going to be the perfect time for you to move out and establish your new identity. So thank you, Janet's Planet on YouTube, for your question. Let's grab another one from Facebook and YouTube and see what we've got popping in our Facebook and YouTube feed. Let's see who we have. All right, well, we're going to take a look and see here. I know there's a conversation or two going on in Facebook, and thank you so much. I saw that somebody was asking if they could find a wonderful appointment with me on Facebook, and they were asking, can I have an in-person appointment? And yes, you can meet with me live at the Expedito Enlightenment Center, so you can call and have a personal reading session. All right, we do have Brianna Lynn. Brianna Lynn says, hi, Sarah. Any insights on my partner coming into my life? Hope you are well. I am well, Brianna. Thank you so much for asking. So let's take a look at Brianna. And when I look at your partner, this energy is something that has been long coming. I feel as if you've spent a lot of time trying to hold things together, and now it's time for you. And when I look at where you are in this journey, this is a year of networking to meet new friends, establishing yourself a little bit more in a new community, and connecting with friends to meet others, and stepping out and meeting new people. I do feel that this year is the perfect year conducive for love. And when I say this year, I don't just mean 2025. I mean coming into 2026. But I don't know, Brianna, there's a feeling that comes over me when I look at your birthday time and I say, wow, we could have a partner for Christmas. I don't know if he's coming in a stocking, dressed up as Santa, might pop in through your chimney, but I see a partner for Christmas. So I feel that this is an opportunity for love. So look for love. Don't be wasting your time looking for love in all the wrong places. And don't be hiding from people. Step out and embrace love. Do we have one more from Facebook and YouTube that we can tune into? Let's take a look and see who else we have in our Facebook feed. We have Chris Cotton. Chris says, blessings to all. Speaking of love, what can Spirit tell about my... We need to focus that a little bit more here. Let's see. My relationship with my partner, and it's been very difficult years. There's addiction problems. There's just a lot of conflict going on. And the type of relationship really seems to be almost feeling unattainable. So when I look at this energy and I look at your birthday and your partner's birthday, the first thing I know is that, Chris, I also feel that there's been a lot of responsibility on you, like you've had to carry the weight of the relationship. You've had to take the energy of responsibilities, and that's kind of created a divide. Your partner is really struggling with this addiction energy, and it's something that is a part of them. They just have difficulty, whether it's one thing or another, they're going to have some addiction. So they really have to step up to the plate and do their work. But I want you to know something, Chris. What I hear from Spirit is, it's not that your partner does not love you, because your partner does love you. Your partner does not love themselves enough to do the work the way they need to, so that they can consistently show up first for themselves and then show up for you, Chris. That seems to be a bit of a problem here, showing up for you. So we want you to step into your own truth, speak your truth, speak the energy of love, and we want you, Chris Cotton, to see your partner fully healed and fully in the energy of free of any ties to addiction, ties to anything that is negative. You visualize them in a better state. It has been a difficult time. I know that by the end of this year, you will know if you really want to continue to stay or you want to go. I know there's a lot associated with that. There's a lot of emotions around that, and I know you feel responsible in a way for your partner, but you will know what's best for you by the end of this year. Thank you so much for your Facebook question. If you'd like to ask a question on Facebook and YouTube, be sure to pop your questions in the feed. I'd love to talk to you. And again, if you'd love a personal session with me, Sarah Spiritual, you can see me in West Palm Beach at my Expedito Enlightenment Center. There you will find a fabulous array of spiritual, metaphysical products that are designed to assist you on your spiritual journey. And if you're not local, that's okay. Because I don't have to be local to you, because we have technology. And that technology allows me to connect with you via phone, via video, so that we can have a fabulous connection to give you a personal session. You can go to SarahSpiritual.com. There you'll find all the different sessions that I offer, and you'll also find an array of products that I have on my website that are just a bit of what we have in our metaphysical center in West Palm Beach. We're going to go to our phone lines. I've got another call, and this call is in Fort Lauderdale. And I have Trevor in Fort Lauderdale. Trevor, how are you tonight?
How are you doing, ma'am?
I'm doing well. Good to make a connection with you tonight, Trevor.
Okay.
What's your question for me tonight?
My question, do you have any insight for me on demonic forces like entities, doing me harm, and an outlook on the year?
Okay.
The whole entire year.
Well, we can't give you a whole entire year because that would be a whole entire reading, or we're just here to give you a couple of bits of information. But let me see what Spirit wants to share with us. So, first of all, can there be energies and entities that attach to people, and can they attach to you? Yes, they can. Can there be other people who have bad thoughts, bad energies, and they don't wish you the best? Yes. Do you have things that disrupt your sleep and are kind of making you feel like you're blocked and not able to move forward, right? And I know that you feel that that's what's going on. And I do feel that there is a slowness, there's a stagnation around you that seems not right, doesn't feel normal to me. And I do feel that your sleep is being disrupted. Is that correct, Trevor?
Yes, ma'am.
And you also feel as if you're not, you're not yourself. You're kind of in a fog. You're feeling tired when you shouldn't be tired, and things just don't click for you the way you want. And I feel like the money is not flowing the way you need it to flow, and that's becoming very frustrating. I will tell you this, though. Trevor, this year is meant to be a year of powerful career moves and claiming your personal power in work and business and money. So we want to open up that experience. Now, Trevor, at my metaphysical center, the Expedito Enlightenment Center, I handcraft over 100 products. And we've got products to clear your energy, clear your aura, remove negative cords, energies, entities. So does that exist? It does, right? And it is a force of energy. And when we deal with people, we're not dealing just with the person. We're dealing with the force of energy that is in them and that walks around them. So you have come upon a clash that is not really letting you go. And if I were to say how long you've been struggling here, I really have to go back to, first of all, 2019. I feel like that was a tough year for you. Is that correct, Trevor?
Yes, ma'am.
And so for the past 5 years, you've been struggling off and on. And every time you think, I'm up 2 steps, I'm going to keep going, something knocks you down. Is that also true?
Yes.
And are you looking for new work? Because I feel new work opportunity coming for you, and I feel like that's going to present itself in the summer.
Okay. I've been looking several places, but no, nothing has been cleared up yet. So
All right. So we
I'm
may
still on
want
the
to
hunt.
clear your energy, okay? So one day, I know
All
you're
right.
in Fort Lauderdale, but I am in West Palm Beach. Just Google Sarah Spiritual. You can come up to the center. We can recommend some products. Everything's very reasonable, nothing crazy. And or I can make something specific for you and what I've seen around you so that we can clear the energy so that you can move forward with ease and grace to have the life that you want. Well, Trevor, for this minute, I've got to pop off so that we can get ready for commercial. I trust that I have been of service to you. Know that you're not going crazy. There are some things going on spiritually. And this has even been a problem that you've had even since you were a little boy. Your family's from where? Haiti?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So there's a lot
Yeah.
going on in the family lineage, and there's been a lot of difficulties. And so this is your chance to break that lineage disruption that I see and also clear yourself. Trevor, thank you so much for
All
your
right.
call. I greatly appreciate you. Do pop up to the Expedito Center in West Palm Beach. I'd love to meet you and give you the opportunity to clear your energy. Bye for now. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, it's the 8 o'clock hour, and we have Stacy Holler who will be joining us and her Destiny in the Star update to let us know what the rock around the astrological clock is going to be. Oh my God, I think I'm on a roller coaster. Let's see what's going to happen in our 8 o'clock hour. Stay with us, and we're welcoming your phone calls at 866-972-7247. We'll be right back.
What will change the course of life? I don't know. Where is light? Where is love? What will I do? What will you do to change the world and make it a better place? To change the world.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WFLM 104.7 HD3 Palm Beach Shores, and heard in Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. We are South Florida's home for the True Oldies channel.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome back to the next hour of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussion to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect to the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all experience and knowledge. We have another hour to listen and call in 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can share the love and light.
Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. I'm so glad to be making this connection with all of you all across the nation at 866-972-7247. And we welcome your phone calls, your Facebook messages, and your YouTube messages. But it is the 8 o'clock hour, and we have a very special guest who joins us the first Wednesday of the month. We've got Stacy Holler on the line. Stacy, how are you? Are you with us, Stacy?
Happy May.
Yes, happy May.
It seems really unbelievable that we're at the spring already. Time is going quicker. Don't you feel it?
I feel it, and it's so interesting because time has been on the move more and more rapidly since 2020. Than ever before. I even have little kids telling me, seriously, Sarah, my school year went really quick. Like they're shocked that they're getting ready to leave school here in South Florida in just a few weeks. So we're all feeling the time movement. And that's why when I tell people 2027 is about 18 months away, they go, what? I'm like, yes. So, we could just skip 2026 and hope by the time we get to 27, everything's all worked out here. But I guess that depends on what you've got to tell us, because these planets, I know they're getting ready to do some moving and some shaking. And I know that people have been feeling, Stacey, I have so many people telling me they're feeling a little out of sorts, like they're not in their body. And then I look at them like, what are you talking about? They feel like they're floating. They're not sleeping. Number one thing I hear is they're having crazy, vivid dreams that almost don't make sense, or seeing people they haven't seen in years in their dreams. So there's so much going on with people. I know the planets are kind of playing a little trick on us. So Stacey, clue us in. What's going on, and what does the month of May have for everyone in their astrology?
There's always some comfort in knowing we're all kind of in this together, though. We're all kind of feeling it, right? The collectiveness of it all. And it's really interesting because this month we are going to get a little, and the energy is just starting to come in for us to kind of pause. People hear the word retrograde, and it's like, oh no, here it comes. But this month, this past Sunday, Pluto, which is we've been talking a lot about Pluto and Aquarius, that we're seeing this big transformation and death and rebirth in our society and on the globe. But this past Sunday, Pluto went into retrograde. And I think that's a little welcoming, because it will slow that intensity down. The retrograde is more of a time of reflection and inspection. So I'm kind of welcoming that. Like, okay, let's take a little stop here and consider what we're doing. So Pluto will be in retrograde in Aquarius through October. So there is a time for us to reconsider what's going on. And, the way we find our truth is going inside and listening to our intuition. That we always talk about, be true to yourself. So I think people, from what you just shared, are feeling deeper and trying to connect more spiritually to help navigate. And I think some of the energies this month might help with that.
Now,
so
Stacey,
that's kind of a little bit of good news.
Right, but when we look at Pluto, what else does Pluto represent besides reflection? Doesn't it have a sense of closure to it, or a reflection of the past but closing it out and kind of shifting gears for
reflection.
us?
Yeah, well, the reflection part is the retrograde part. Pluto is all about death and rebirth. It's all about blowing it up so you could start all over again. It might be one of the smaller entities in the sky, but it's the most powerful one. So it's about transition. So because it's going into retrograde, it's not as aggressive. It's the energies want us, before we start continuing to blow things up, maybe consider what we're doing. That's how the retrograde's going to help kind of slow down some of what's going on before it goes direct again. So it's not totally going away, but the retrograde is going to make us all consider the transformation we're going through. And if something is blowing up for us, give us more pause. And we'll be helped with some other energies within the month too. You know, monthly we always look at the full moon,
right?
Because the moons have the most effect on us. So this coming Saturday we're going to have a full moon in Scorpio. Talk about intense energies, right?
Yes.
Scorpio is intense. Scorpio, you know, and a full moon is the culmination of our vision over the last 6 months. It brings us unexpected events. But it also brings conclusions to open up new doors. So this full moon is going to be a little intense. We'll take a look at where that falls for everybody. And another thing I want to highlight about the month, too, is on the 25th, Saturn is moving into Aries. Now, this is an interesting event because Saturn, people hear Saturn, they're like, oh, no. Saturn represents responsibility and structure, and Saturn doesn't like change. So Saturn is moving into Aries, not very happy. Saturn is not very happy with Aries because Aries is about new beginnings and impulsiveness and initiatives and assertiveness. So when Saturn moves into Aries, that's all for us to learn how to balance. That's for us to think and plan long term. That will give us the perseverance to figure out what we need in our own lives and what are our personal goals and what action we want to take. Saturn gives us the power to make those things happen, but it's going to be a little balancing act there. And then we'll take a look at the new moon on May 26th, and this new moon is in Gemini. Starts a whole new cycle. So when we talk about where that full moon falls for each of you, that's an area where you want to envision what you want that part of your life to be in the next 6 months. Gemini is all about communications, all about how we think. So when we take a look at everybody's sign, and if you know your rising sign, pay attention too, we're going to look at the full moon and the new moon of where you're going to see some planning and moving, and then we'll see where this Saturn and Aries is happening for you. And when we talk about that area of your life, that's where you want to really think through what do you need to be making plans that you could actually start to make happen in your life. So should we look at everybody?
Let's take a look and let's rock around the clock and see what all of this is going to mean for each individual sign, if you would, Stacy.
Well, we're ready to go around that clock. So we always start with Aries, the first sign in the zodiac. Now, the full moon for my Aries friends is about shared resources. You might get some unexpected money in on the full moon. It's about your deep emotional connection. So I heard you earlier say, should I stay or should I go, to one of your callers?
Yes.
Well, that might happen too for you Aries folks on this full moon. The new moon for you is in your house of communications. Breakthrough ideas might come to you. It's also the house of siblings. So if you want to envision a different relationship and how you communicate with your siblings, that would be a great time to start making those plans. Now for you, Aries, Saturn, it's entering your sign. It's about your personal long-term goals. Reassess who you are and what you want and what you want to make happen in your life. Now, Taurus, the full moon for you, it's all about your committed relationship. So here is your should I stay or should I go? And that's in your committed personal romantic relationships as well as your business relationships. The new moon for you is all about money. So that's where you need to start planning. What is your financial strategies? Where do you want to see income coming in for you in the next 6 months? And Saturn for you is in your 12th house. So Taurus, this is a time for you to do some inner healing. If you need a holistic therapist or some help in getting through figuring out how to move yourself on a deeper level, this would be the time to do that. Now, Gemini, The full moon for you is all about your daily routines, your health and your habits. So this full moon is going to end some old things. If you're ready to quit something you shouldn't be doing, this would be a good time to do that so you could move forward on the new moon. Now, the new moon for you is all about your personal goals and intentions. So you could cross over for what you want to do on your everyday life and health and really get going to envision that on the new moon. And Saturn for you, Geminis, it's all about the people you hang with, your community, your friends, the groups, associations. Plan who you want to be with and who's not working for you anymore and make your move. Now, Cancer, for you, the full moon is in your 5th house. That's creativity, that's partying, that's romance. So get out there, Cancer. The new moon for you is in your house of healing. And it's a good time for meditation and listening to your gut. And your Saturn is in your house of career. So Cancer, when Saturn moves into Aries, you really need to be working on where do you want your career to go? How are you going to balance what's right with something you could actually make happen? Now, Leo, the full moon for you is about your home and family matters. Maybe you'll suddenly get an offer for a new house or something might change in your family. The new moon for you, that's about your social connections. Who do you want to be with? Maybe it's time to join a new group that aligns more with your values. And Saturn for you, that could be about your experience in the world. If you've been thinking forever about taking this long-distance trip you've always wanted to do or study something you really wanted to study, now Saturn's going to help you get there and put it together. Now, Virgo, for you, this full moon is in your house of communications. Maybe there's a project you've been working on that could come to fruition. Maybe you've been working on something in your neighborhood, and now it's really coming to be. It's a good time to share ideas. The new moon for you, that's on your career, so now you should be planning where do you want to be in your career in the next 6 months. And then let Saturn, when it moves into Aries, that's going to be in your house of shared resources and financial planning. So if you have financial relationships with other people that you're tied up in your money, now you want to look and see what's really working and what's not. Now, Libra, the full moon for you is in your house of money. Maybe you'll see some unexpected money coming in on this full moon or some new idea about how to make some new money. The new moon for you, it's all about studying and learning. And you, too, should be planning your new trip of where you want to be. And Saturn, when it moves into Aries for you, it's about your committed relationships. Now it's time where the rubber's going to meet the road. Who are you in this relationship, and how are you going to work with your partner to make it happen? Scorpio, the full moon for you is in your 1st house. It's about you. It's about your own transformation. Maybe you'll have some really deep insights on this full moon about where you want to be. The new moon focuses on your joint finances, your intimate relationships, and your shared resources. So take a look at there and envision what do you want to see over the next 6 months. And Saturn for you, it's on your daily life. It's in your house of health. It's time for you to take responsibility for your health and self-improvement and let Saturn help you take the steps you need to make to better yourself in that regard. Now, Sag, the full moon for you, that's in your 12th house of healing, of releasing old patterns. So it is a time for healing for you, Sag. The new moon is about your committed relationships. What do you want your love life to look like in terms of commitment over the next 6 months? Or a business partner, things to be worked out there, you can make it happen during this time. Now, Capricorn, your full moon, it's all about your social life, who you're hanging out with, what groups do you want to be associated with, or maybe it's time to leave that group and those friends who aren't working for you. The new moon is encouraging Caps to look at your health routine and look at your work habits and what do you need to be taking care of for yourself over the next 6 months. And Saturn, for you, Capricorn, this month, it's about your home and your family. Are there things that need to finally be getting done in your house, things that need to be taken care of, or family responsibilities? Now's the time to pay attention to those. Aquarius, for you, The full moon is in your career. So maybe there'll be some news about a promotion or a change or something to get you going to spur a job search. The new moon for you is in your house of creativity and romance. It's also the house of children. Maybe you're going to start to think about planning to expand your family. And when it comes to Saturn, that's in your house of communications, and it's also the house of siblings. So Aquarians, if there's things you need to work on to better your relationships with your siblings, now would be the time. And then Pisces, for you, the full moon, that's in your house of getting out into the world. Maybe you'll get an opportunity to take that long-distance trip. It's also the house of media. So maybe something will trigger there in that world for you, or something new to learn. The new moon for you is in your home and family. So maybe you are starting to think about moving over the next 6 months, or doing that renovation, or changing your family life. And you, Pisces, your Saturn is about money and finances. So now it's time for you to really take responsibility and restructure your finances to really make something happen with what you want to see in your future for your finances. So there's still opportunities, Sarah, and I think between Pluto going retrograde and making us reflect more, Saturn will give us the energy we need to make things happen for ourselves once we find the right balance. And we don't go off too cocky, and we don't stay too set in our ways. When we find that balance, that's when we'll be able to move forward.
It sounds
so it's not all crazy news this month.
No, it sounds like a very manageable astrology. I'm very happy to hear this.
Yeah.
So it sounds like we'll have a lot of time to reflect and cover different areas of our lives and kind of get them in a better order. So perhaps as we come towards the end of the year and things heat up a little bit more with some other retrogrades, we'll have some things in order so we can navigate whatever comes our way. Well, this has been very informative, Stacy. I'm so glad that you shared this with us. And I must say, I have a sigh of relief. I mean, it is my birthday month, and I'm like, oh, Lord, please, nothing crazy in the planets. So I'm glad to hear that.
You know, I was going to bring it up when I said Gemini. I'm saying somebody's got a birthday coming up.
Yes,
we
do.
Yes, Gemini brings us the light breezes. Gemini brings us communication. So we welcome all you Geminis coming up, and your birthdays at the end of the month.
Absolutely. And so glad that I'm here to be able to communicate to everyone all across the nation here on the Oldies Station. And I'm really glad that we have you as our guest on the first Wednesday of every month to share with us what's going on in the astrology. Now, this was some fascinating information. So if you're a listener and you thought to yourself, I'd like to know a little bit more about this, well, Stacy has the answers. So you can go to destinyinthestars.com and look at Stacy's offerings of her astrological sessions. This would be a great thing for you to know, especially if you have a birthday coming up, to really know what your chart looks like for the year. Also, if you want to gift this to someone, it's a great gift. And there's so many ways that Stacy can help you if you're navigating changes in your life. So go to destinyinthestars.com. Stacy has over 30 years experience doing this, and it doesn't get any better than Stacy Holler. Stacy, thank you so much for sharing time and space with us. We appreciate you, and you're taking the time to prepare this astrology report for us.
Oh, I love coming every month, and when I get on next month, we'll be celebrating your and all the other Gemini's birthdays.
Absolutely.
So thanks again, and I look forward to talking to you next month.
You got it, Stacy. Thank you so much. Bye for now. Well, we're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. Then when we come back, we've got to rock around our phone clock because we've got some callers on the board, and I want to get to as many people as possible. If you're on hold, please don't go anywhere. When we come back from this commercial break of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah on the Oldies Station, we're going back to the phone lines at 866-972-7247. We'll be right back.
In the room before I walk through the door, do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice? Did you call
tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
My voice. I am Sarah Spiritual, and you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah right here on the Oldie Station, and we're welcoming your phone calls at 866-972-7247. And we want to talk to you, and we want to also chat with you on Facebook and YouTube, so put your comments and questions in the feed. But at this minute, we've got to rock around the clock of our phone lines. And I've got to go to Hannah in Miramar. I have Hannah in Miramar. Hannah, how are you tonight?
I'm pretty well, and yourself?
I'm doing well, Hannah. Good to make this connection with you. Is this your first time calling the show?
No, it's not. It's my second time.
Well, thank you so much for remembering us and calling back. What is your question for us tonight?
I guess I guess I would say I have a pretty good relationship with God, but I guess if you sense or see something that I really can't hear or see from God, what would be the message that I'm not getting? And that could be for anything for friends, for people that I surround myself with, finances, or just, life, or people that have passed.
Well, there's a lot. I mean, there's so many ways we can go in this. And since we have just a couple of minutes, the first thing Spirit wants you to know is that this is a year of transformation. It is truly a year of letting go of the people who don't serve you any longer and really rebirthing yourself. Earlier, Stacy talked about Pluto being the death and rebirth planet, of bringing us down to bring us back up. It's time for you to reevaluate where you are and where you want to go. And the Spirit especially wants you to be true to your heart. I know that you're a very logical person, but you also have a free spirit in you. We want you to honor that free spirit. We want you to honor who you've come to be and the reason that your soul is driving you to want to make a difference in this world. And being open to God gives you this opportunity to allow God to flow through you in all that you do. Does this make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
And what I also see here is I feel like you sometimes separate yourself, even though you love to connect with people and you can be very social. Sometimes you just burn yourself out and you need to separate and reevaluate yourself. Is that also true?
Yes, that is true.
And this energy of you read people your own way, so you have your own intuition. This is what has allowed you to know what is coming even before it comes. Like you're not surprised when someone betrays you. You almost felt it coming. You're just disappointed that it actually happened. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. Yeah.
So
yes.
people have disappointed you a lot recently, but it is part of the clearing of the ways.
Wow.
And I do feel, Hannah, that there is a trip that you need to take. Is there a family trip or visiting some people that we need to accomplish in the next few months, please?
Yes, there is.
Yes. So it is good for you to take that trip. I am made aware of many angels around you, so I feel like the angels are aware of your cries and you're asking for assistance and also helping you attract the right people in your life. So they let you know that they are with you by the signs and the numbers that you see. So pay attention to the numbers that repeat themselves. They are a sign from your angels. Hannah, I hope I've given you enough to run with for this minute of time.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Have a blessed night.
Thank you, honey. Bye for now. 866-972-7247. We are looking forward to talking to you here on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah and Mary Ellis in Clearwater. Let's see what's going on in Clearwater, Florida. Let's take a listen. Hello, how are you?
Hi, Sarah.
How are you?
Wonderful. Much better from the last couple of times I've spoken to you.
Well, good to hear. And what is your burning question for us tonight?
Anything from the spirit world or anything that I need to know that, just help me out. I'm feeling better, but sometimes I still get in that slump. Do you have any messages from any of my loved ones or anything for me?
So first thing they want you to know is that this is a year to get up and out. They want you to really connect with new people. They want you to kind of break some routines. You've been in a rut. It's time to pull yourself out of the rut. I don't know if there was an idea or a thought, and I know that this may sound a little far out there, but was there an idea and a thought that we want to make a move?
Yes.
And we're not sure how we're going to make the move. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
But I do see you moving. I do see you moving.
One of the last time we spoke, yes, that's what you had said around this time.
So I know it's a lot. You have a lot of support on the other side. You have a lot of guides with you. You have your own spiritual connection, so I know that the universe is supporting you. I have two energies popping up around you. I have a female and I also have a male. Female seems maternal, but grandmother energy. Grandma has passed, please?
Yes, my grandmother.
But the male energy seems almost like it's a paternal thing. Did Dad pass?
Yeah, my mother, father, and grandmother. Yes, they're all there.
They're all on the other side. So I have your grandma stepping forward very strongly, like she's very much matriarchal, connecting. And then I have Dad standing there. Dad is standing there in support for you. Now, when I go to your grandmother and your mom, is there a quilt or a blanket that was made by someone, either one of them that you have, please? Because someone's folding a blanket there, please. Yes?
Yes. They didn't make it, but I do have one of her blankets, yeah.
Yes. So where's that blanket? Is it on a bed somewhere or somewhere off to the side?
In the closet right now.
Okay, folded?
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe you want to take it out and put it out there because they're just showing me this blanket being folded and unfolded and kind of just folded in place somewhere, but it doesn't seem, as I sit and I look, it doesn't seem like it's in a closet. So take it out of the closet. Apparently it was something that was consistent in their energy, almost had a sentimental value because it was always around them. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. Yes, I am.
So we want you to trust that they are with you and you're not alone. Father makes me feel like he tries to give you signs and show himself to you. Did we have a problem with the television recently?
Yes.
Like it shut off,
turn on? Yes, I can get it
or...
to work and it keeps turning off. Yes, it keeps turning on. I literally just said it today. Why does this thing keep turning on after I keep turning it off?
Because it's the electromagnetic field of your father's energy flipping it on and flipping it off, honey. All right? So Dad is definitely showing you that he's with you and he wants you to know that his presence is there, and that's why he's so strong with us tonight. Mom's with you, but that doesn't mean that she's not. If I'm not making a connection, I feel her energy there, but she's not communicating anything to me other than it was she or your grandmother making a fuss over the blanket. And I don't know why it's got to be so important, but they're making a fuss over this blanket. So you might have to send us a picture so I know what this blanket looks like. All right? So many things in life, and they're talking about a blanket up there. I'm like, really? We got trouble down here on Earth. And you ladies are pissing a fit over there over a blanket. But there they are, just talking about a blanket. I want you to also understand that you have the power to create your reality, and you need to be more specific with your intentions. Okay?
Okay.
Focus, focus, focus. All right, my dear?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you so much for calling us back. We greatly appreciate it. Bye for now.
Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome. Bye. 866-972-7247. And we're going to go to Anna Marie in Brooklyn. Anna Marie, how are you tonight?
Hi, Sarah. I hope all is well. How's everything with you?
Fabulous. Thank you so much for asking.
I was in West Palm Beach this week, and I was supposed to come see you on Friday. My cousin had an appointment, and then she wanted to give me her appointment, so I was trying every way possible to come and see you, but the stars didn't align too well.
Oh, dear.
But I still feel like spirits have something to say to me because I was trying my hardest to come, and then once I couldn't make the appointment, I felt like something was needed to be said to me. But I am going to be coming back next month in June, so I'll definitely be seeing you. So do you have any messages for spirit for me?
Well, all of your efforts have not been in vain. You have worked long and hard to get things to work better for you at work. Is that true, please?
Yes.
And we finally have a better rhythm at our job. Is that also true?
Yes.
And you found your voice in that work. Is that correct? Now we feel better, correct?
Yes. It's a much smoother year.
Grandmother passed, Anne-Marie, yes?
Yes.
She's very much with you, and you talk to her. Is that also true?
Yes. Do you know which one?
I place this
Is sending a message?
above your mother, please. Your mom's mom.
Yes. Yes.
She passed most recently, is what she makes me feel. Is that true?
No. A year ago, my other grandmother passed away during this time.
Oh, okay. How long has mom's mom
A year.
been gone?
4 years.
4 years. That's recent in our timing here. So.
Mm-hmm. I always talk to her.
Always talk to her, yeah. And she's very clear that you talk to her, and it's almost like you're asking her what to do and her to help you navigate different aspects of your life. What is the relationship question for me, Anne Marie?
The relationship, will I find my soulmate? Will the stars align for me? I know that's a question that I keep asking you every single time, even when I come to see you and when I have my phone calls with you.
Yes. There are different cycles in the journey of a soul, and some years are more conducive to others for meeting a partner. And some of the years that you've asked, there were other things that were priority. And I think now looking back, you can understand that. But girl,
yes,
I got to tell you, you're entering the sweet spot of the love shack energy. And I'll tell you that this year into next year is really a powerful love connection. And the stars are meant to align. So love is coming. And I know you talked to Grandma about that. And
yes, all the
she's
time.
also had to dry your tears from the other side because you've shed some tears over this topic, but it's not for you to worry. Now, Anne Marie, we've got to do something really important. When you go to make your appointment, you need to make that appointment soon, and you need to tell us the days you're going to be in town in case we have to put you on the wait list for those days. So you must do that.
I'm gonna call back tomorrow because I have a future trip in mind. I'm just figuring out the dates, so I'm gonna call in tomorrow to schedule.
Yes, because our June is looking kind of crazy already. So I want to make sure that you get that appointment,
of course.
And we get to sit across.
How
from
about
you.
health-wise? How do you see health-wise?
Actually, health is doing better than it was.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right, because you weren't quite 100% then. Well, I will see you next month here in sunny West Palm Beach, and give my love to New York, and we'll see you soon.
Yes, I will. Thank you so much, Sarah.
You're welcome. Bye for now. Bye. 866-972-7247. We've got to pop off and take a quick commercial break. And then when we come back, we've got quite the callers on the board, so don't go anywhere. And please don't hang up. We'll be right back.
Do you know me? Do I know you? Have we met before? I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice? Did you call me with your song?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at SarahSpiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal
You are
session.
listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual, at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
And we are back here live on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation at 866-972-7247. So glad to be connecting with all of you. We're going to go to Miramar. I've got Zita on the line. Zita, how are you tonight?
Good evening. I'm great, and yourself?
I'm doing well. Good to make this connection with you. What is your burning question for us tonight?
I just want to know, how is the new month gonna? Well, I mean, this month May gonna be for me, and how is the love life looking, and success-wise when it comes to school and stuff. So I just a random, I guess, just whatever the Spirit asks for me.
Great. So the first thing I want you to know is this is a year to really expand yourself consciously, scholastically, emotionally, personally, in all areas. It's a big, big year for you. So all the ways, Zita, that you can grow, I want you to take advantage of them. Your guides are saying stop going back and forth. Don't doubt yourself. You've got this. Whatever you're tackling this month in school and tests and studies, you've got this. You can do this. There's still a bit of tweaking that we have to do and something that we're studying to prepare for career. Are we kind of still finalizing something for our career move next? Is that true, please?
Say that again, Sarah.
Are you finalizing something with your studies to prepare for career, but you've got to tweak something? Are you realizing there's something else you still need to do or something else you want to add to get yourself ready for work and career?
Well, I mean, I guess there's documents that I need to finalize, but I am in the midst of getting back into school.
Okay. So, and then I don't know that you're clear enough in what you want to study. You may tweak what you put your foot upon the path to do. So just be open to that in your studies. So just know that you may start on one path, but then hit a different aspect of what you're going to school for is what they're letting me know. So you're going to iron out those details in this next month. And this year is really about, it's a big personal growth year, Zita. And the more that you claim your power and decide what you want to do, the easier it's going to be for you to get to point A to point B. The focus is not about love and relationships this year. The focus is you. It's all about you. It's really about taking care of expanding yourself. And you're not being selfish by doing what you need to do to prepare yourself to be your own foundation for life. All right? I hope I've been of help to you, Zita. How did you hear about the show?
I called before. My brother, he works there, and he tells me about the show.
Great, great. Well, thank you so much for calling. We greatly appreciate it. And it's meant to be a good year. Take care of business. Focus on what you need to focus on. And you're going to go far. Thanks so much. Bye for now.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. 866-972-7247. I've got to go to Miami. I've got Amanda on the board. Amanda, how are you tonight?
I'm good, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing well, Amanda. What is your burning question for us tonight?
My burning question is that I just want to see what the universe, God, my angels, my angel tribe is what I like to call them. What advice do they have for me for a current situation going on right now? It's a big question.
That's all right. As challenged as you feel, all challenges offer growth. All challenges give you an opportunity to learn how powerful you could be, and all challenges give you the opportunity to become victorious. And you have to find your voice and your truth, and that has been the lesson of this year. Finding your personal voice and speaking your truth. But first we had to know our truth. And you didn't own the value of you. Now you have a better understanding. And so there's no stopping you now. You have to move forward on the path that you have chosen, knowing that it's all about the truth. And then from there, you will be able to reevaluate life and also decide where you would like to go next in your work and career. It is important for you to seek guidance of people who are equipped to be of assistance to you in the matter that you are working on in this current project that is also part of your challenge. So we must find the right people to support us. When you are aligned with the right people, this is going to go much more quickly. It is important to understand that those that have not done right by you are going to do everything they can to deflect and not take accountability. This is why we need people who are of the utmost in their field and expertise to help be the voice of your truth. And as we wrap up this year of 2025, this should be in your rearview mirror, and you'll be heading into 2026 free and clear. No, I did not say it's going to take till the very end of the year, but I did say it would be in your rearview mirror, which makes me feel we have a couple of more months to duke this out, possibly through August, to get all the ducks in a row that we can get this signed, sealed, delivered, and closed out so you are free. So trust the experience, Amanda. Everything is happening for a reason, and you are fully protected by your guides and your angels and your family members who are on the other side.
Thank you for that confirmation.
All
To
right, my dear.
confirm, my
All right.
family, my
Yes.
family, is my family proud of me right now?
Very much,
On the other
because
side.
very much proud
Okay.
of you, because you also are finding your voice and your truth at times where they did not find their voice and their truth, and they, as a whole, as a generational collective, have also been persecuted. And so it's important that you find the truth and represent that. I've got to pop off for now. I trust we've been of service to you.
Thank you, Sarah,
You're
so
welcome.
much.
You're welcome. Bye for now. Well, that concludes our Spiritually Speaking with Sarah right here on the Oldie Station. So glad that you joined us, and I'm so glad to have spoken to so many of you. Thank you for your Facebook questions, your comments, your YouTube on Sarah Spiritual. Follow the page, like the page, join the train as we leave the station and approach our 16-year anniversary. There'll be a live celebration on June 11th. Write the date down, details to follow. For now, good night, God bless you, and I am Sarah Spiritual.
Change the course of life. I don't know where is
This has been Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. You can hear and speak with Sarah Spiritual every Wednesday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. Each week, Sarah Spiritual and Spirit answer your most important questions as you navigate through life. Listen and call in next week and let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit guide you. If you didn't have a chance to speak with Sarah Spiritual tonight, visit Sarah at SarahSpiritual.com. You can message Sarah Spiritual at Facebook and follow her on Instagram. Tune in